You know, some people are lucky. Kristen is luckier. Look what she gets today. I can't wait. Let's get this thing unboxed. So one of the things that I noticed right off the bat, they put in built-in handles. There's one on this side and one on the other side. It makes it pretty easy to lift off the ground. So one of the things I noticed right off the bat is this thing is all put together. So you're gonna have to lift this thing straight out of the box. And if you got somebody to help you, that's probably good. But in my case, I guess I don't right now. So I'm gonna have to heft it out of the box by myself. It shouldn't be too hard. So pretty much the bicycle came straight out of the box. You'll have the charger. That's probably the only thing that's left in the box. And that's pretty much what's left inside your box once you lift it out. You know, as you can see, it's pretty well protected. They got it wrapped up pretty good. So we're in the Bueller bunch garage. So there's just a lot of stuff in our garage. So forget all the stuff in the background. But so far this bicycle is pretty well packed. So now the next step is to cut all the little white zip ties and start revealing the bike. One thing I did notice is that they used a lot of tape and a lot of zip ties. Zip tie is pretty self-explanatory. And if you tend to cut it with one of these, you just gotta be super careful not to scratch what's underneath it. So you gotta kind of lift it up. Either that or you can tear it, but these pieces of tape are fairly strong. Things like the seat, you don't wanna poke. You don't wanna be cutting cables. You don't want to be cutting tires, but yeah, just be really careful when using your knife because you can go a little too deep. You may even scratch the paint. Well, I unboxed it and looked it over, and I did notice that it did have a blemish on the frame. It's not that big of a deal. However, when things come new, I like things to come new. So there's the blemish. And it comes right by the handle, but the handle doesn't really impact it, so I don't know what scratched that. And it folds the other way, so there wouldn't have been anything pressing on it. Everything here was wrapped really well, and I mean, you can actually still see the styrofoam on it. It's just when I took off this piece, it's right there. And it is a surface. Oh no, look at that. Well, I don't have to do it. Look at that. It was just something on the frame. So give it a good once over. Well, I did look it over really good and everything is just fine. So now it's a matter of charging it up, looking at the manual, reading about how to set everything up. I don't know, you know, how long it's gonna take, how much it's been charged from the factory, but we will give her a shot and I'll test it out because I'm the tester. That's what I do. And for my size, this better hold up. And this, it has a 330 pound weight capacity. I am nowhere close to that. However, you know, when you're pounding 200 plus pounds up and down on a bicycle frame, you never know over time how that will be. The piece of resistance. Oh. So to set these things up once you get them out of the box, to angle this correctly, there's a screw under here and you just rotate it, set it up. Same thing with this one. There's you can rotate it however you feel for the best place to do it, because these controls here you will use a lot. So you want to set them up so that they're comfortable and in a position where your thumb is. So this bike has keys, and they attach the keys right here on the frame. At any rate, these are it's a blue zip tie so that you don't misplace these. But apparently these have to stay with the bike. I'm assuming in future updates they probably won't have that feature, but this stays with the bike when you're riding. Well, we got the step-through model, and you know, in sitting on it, that's plenty for me, and I'm 6'1". I normally ride a 19-inch to a 20-inch frame bicycle, but this step-through model, it's just right. So one of the things that they had a promotion going, and sorry I'm sweaty because the sun's just beaming down on me, is they had these, you get these if you order an electric bike. Currently this has been going on a promotion for a while, at least that I've seen, because I've been stocking them for a while. But these are these panniers, they go over the back of the bicycle. These things are great. I've got all my camera gear over here, and then I can throw my hat in over here. I would highly recommend them. They carry an awful lot. Turn it on. So when it's 0, that means the throttle will not do anything. When you put it into 1, which by you pressing the up button, that will put it into 1. That will activate the throttle, so you got to be very careful. First mile, it's in the books. So I'm on pedal assist 2, and I'm not really going, well, I'm going like, what, 10 miles an hour. Ooh. But there's once you hit a pedal assist, you just start pedaling, and then all of a sudden the motor kicks in. So the harder you pedal, it's just assisting you when you pedal. But I'm going on a kind of an incline through the neighborhood, and I'm not out of breath. It's pretty easy. I'm doing 10 miles an hour uphill. So pretty much no effort at all. And I'm hoping I'm gonna make it up to the park if I remember how to get there. Lots of airplane activity today. There's what? One plane there, and one plane there. And then there's one plane, you can't see it because it doesn't have a streak going. And then there's one plane way over there. Now this is a little bit of a hill, but again, pedal assist 2, still keeping up at 10 miles an hour. Let's see what I'm like at the top of this hill. So, not too bad. Made it all the way to the top of that hill, and 10 miles an hour all the way up. A little bit of an effort because I tried to keep it in, I don't know, 5th gear. I guess I could have gone into a lower gear. Made it a lot easier on me. But this thing's pretty powerful. I am very surprised. Very happy too. Well, we only live a couple of miles from Spring Lake Park. It's got a big bike path and walking path all the way around it. Boat ramps, a little bit of everything. So this is, I think, a good test. It's about 3 miles around. Trying it out on some bumpy dirt roads. There's no problems at all. Ooh, it's technical. So one thing I've only been using is the pedal assist. So now we're going to try just zooming around on the throttle only. That ought to be fun. We're at full throttle. No pedaling. And we're up to about 20 miles an hour. Believe me, that's plenty fast. Well, if you don't want to pedal, man, the throttle, whoa, it'll kick in. And 20 miles an hour on a bicycle, that's plenty fast for most people. I'm zipping through neighborhoods. Come on, the speed limit's only 25. Woohoo! I mean, I think I may even have to slow down because I'm in a school zone. Man, this thing's quick. And I haven't even got it in the highest capabilities of this bike, where it says it can go up to almost 30 miles an hour. 20 miles an hour is plenty fast. Now, I've been mountain biking a lot. When I was younger, I used to mountain bike all the time. However, you're getting older, well, you don't bike as much. This may get me back on the road, and I may be getting another one of these. Wow, I see the reason people get these bikes, the reason I got this bike. This is gonna help Kristen out so tremendously. I just went up our hill, and our hill on my bike, normally I can get about 2/4 of the way up. The rest of the time I'm walking because I'm out of steam. I just pedaled up that hill, came racing down, and now I'm talking to you. So I'm a little still out of breath, but not by much. That thing just zipped right on up the hill. And I wasn't even in pedal assist 5. I think I got it up to pedal assist 3. So it's got plenty of oomph. So what do I think? This is too fun. I think I'm gonna have to find a way to get another one. Well, thanks for coming out on the Bueller Bunch. And hey, if this may be or may not be for you, but man, it's for Kristen.